Hey PJs, welcome back to another video. I'm starting off the new year by reviewing a subscriber slime shop. This is Slime by Harry, and as always, if you want to check out this shop, the link to it will be in the description down below. And if you'd like your business to be reviewed, whether it's slime or something else, I always link my email down below, that way you can contact me. Just a fair warning, which I've mentioned this to any shop that has reached out to me for a review, I am backed up all the way to mid-March at this moment with Black Friday shops that I bought from and all of the subscriber slime shops that have come in, so if you do want to get reviewed, it might be a little bit. Anyways, back to the shop, everything they sent came nicely packaged, nothing cracked or leaked. They sent borax, which was labeled, that's always awesome, and their business card. Starting off the review, this is Watermelon C. It is a clear glue slime scented watermelon, and it comes with watermelon Fimos. I'm always skeptical of fruit scented things because it can go many different ways. You could smell fresh fruit or like candy fruit, and then there's like the good candy and the bad candy. There's just like so many scents that people choose from. I don't know, anyways. But at least in my opinion, this one smelled really good. It smelled like a really good watermelon candy. I'm not like a fan of watermelon Jolly Ranchers or something like that. Like when slimes are scented like that, they just smell so sweet, but this one's a lot more subtle and a lot more fresh smelling, but it still smells like candy, like homemade candy. I don't know, but it smells really fresh and like fresh watermelon. The red color in this slime is absolutely stunning. It's so deep and like a candy red, and I don't even like the color red. That and yellow I just find so gross to look at. I don't like those colors, but this one is definitely an exception. I couldn't stop staring at this one. Even after inflation and all that good stuff, it still looks so good, and it fits the watermelon theme perfectly. The texture itself is very thick and kind of gummy-like. It's also mostly non-tacky, which is phenomenal for like a regular clear glue slime, so it's not coated, not slightly coated, nothing like that. It's just a regular clear slime. So when they're not like super tacky or anything, that's always a good thing because like that's really hard to accomplish, so that's awesome. This slime also leaves almost no residue even after inflating it. It inflates a decent amount, which of course you'll see in a little bit, and the bubble pops are extremely loud and crispy, some of my favorite when I hear them from thick slimes, but not thick enough to where they like fling slime everywhere. I've talked about that before. If it's too thick, it will fling pieces of slime, but this one is a perfect balance between the two, so you still get those thick bubble pops, but it doesn't fling slime right into your eye or in your hair or anything like that. I also found this slime to be extremely holdable, whether it's right before I start inflating it, like when I'm first playing with it, or after inflation. I know after inflation slimes can get a little bit more runny, if that makes sense, and like bubbly and stuff, and of course they stick a lot more, but it's still pretty holdable even in that state, which is like absolutely incredible. And like mentioned, it doesn't have a lot of tackiness to it, so as long as your hands aren't like extremely dry, if you like just hold the slime in your hands, it's not going to leave slime residue, which is always awesome. And yeah, I think this is a really good slime and definitely recommend it if you like more of those like original clear slimes. So this one does get 5 out of 5 pajamas. This next slime is Birthday Cake, which is a clear glue based butter slime that is scented birthday cake, and it comes with a white slime and sprinkles to add to the top yourself. One tiny little baby note of detail, I would always recommend either taping the extra white slime to the like base slime or labeling it. I know labels can get super expensive, that's why taping it would always be a good option, just so that if someone doesn't have access to the description of the slime anymore or whatever, they don't mistake it for like an add-on for one of the other slimes or an extra slime. I also enjoyed that there are so many sprinkles that you get to add to this slime. However, if you want to, you can definitely hold back on some of those sprinkles. That's another thing that can get expensive. Female sizes can be ridiculously expensive sometimes, and you don't need exactly this many unless you're trying to add to the texture. So usually when you have this many, and you add them to the slime, you can feel them as you're stretching it and playing with it. And if you don't want that, if that's like not your end goal to actually have like a little more texture added to it, then I would definitely dial it back on the sprinkles. However, I do like the amount because it's very pretty in the slime and I think it looks really good. What's interesting to me is that this is a clear glue butter, which isn't really a thing in most slime shops, but if you've never tried one, I would definitely recommend it, whether you buy one or make it yourself. I remember making one a long time ago, and it's so hard to explain the texture, but it is completely different than a white glue butter slime. It's a lot more like a bubblier and crispy kind of, and it's not as smooth and like actual buttery, but it's like still a butter slime. It's so hard to describe, but I definitely recommend trying it. This slime is super soft in texture. It is so fun to just like push and press on because of how soft it is, and there are tons of bubble pops, but they're very subtle and light. That's just what comes usually with a clear glue based butter slime. And of course, like I mentioned, the sprinkles give it an extra texture, so every time I poke it, pop it, whatever, I can feel the sprinkles in there. This slime inflates over 2 times its original size and stays completely non-tacky even after inflation. And I would say the only thing I don't like about this one, which is like completely my opinion, is the scent. It smells extremely sweet and it does smell good, but it's also got like a tone of like plasticiness in it, which I don't know if that's the container or what, but it smells kind of fake, which I personally don't like, but scents are 100% opinion. It makes me so happy to see clear glue butter slimes being made, because until like a few weeks ago I completely forgot they existed because like nobody makes them anymore, and this texture is absolutely phenomenal. So this one does get 5 out of 5 pajamas. The third slime for review is Orange Juice, which is a white glue slime scented orange, and it comes with orange Fimo slices. The first thing that I want to touch on is the scent. It's really weak, like I have to put my nose almost pretty much in the slime in order to smell it, but I really wish that there was more to it, and I would definitely recommend adding more. It smells like real oranges and like juice, like real orange juice and real oranges. It smells so fresh and good, and I want to know where you got the scent from because it smells incredible. The slime itself is very glossy and semi-jiggly. I don't know if that was supposed to be part of this, like I don't know if it was supposed to be jiggly or if it was supposed to be just like a regular white glue slime, but regardless, I think that the jiggliness fits the slime really well because along with the vibrant color and the orange slices and like the fact that it's like orange juice themed, you know, it feels more like if orange juice was a slime. So I would definitely keep the jiggliness whether it was an accident or not. Obviously this isn't made with Korean glue, but it almost feels like it like kind of coated. It's hard to explain, but when I first started poking it, it like felt rubbery and kind of coated, and even has a rubbery like stretch to it. And most of the time when I say rubbery, it's not a good thing, but I think in this case it is because it works with it. Again, it makes it feel coated and just feels more jiggly and juice-like. Bubble pops are easy to make and they're extremely loud, and I think that's also part of the fact that it's slightly jiggly. It just makes bubble pops a lot easier, but the loudness definitely surprised me because usually with thinner slimes, which this one isn't like super thin, it's like barely jiggly, but I didn't expect such loud bubble pops out of this one. Just like how the last one was a clear glue butter slime instead of like a white glue like most shops tend to do, this one is white glue, which most juice themed slimes are clear glue based. So it's nice to see a shop doing like the opposite to see how they look and how they work, and like just making it like a unique experience overall. But I think it works kind of almost better with this one being white glue because orange juice itself, like it doesn't look as clear and transparent as apple juice or something like that. So this one being white glue almost works better in my opinion. While this one does feel coated, even if I'm just poking it, stretching it, not really trying to inflate it or anything like that, it does have a decent amount of tackiness to it and more than I can personally handle. And that usually happens if you have thinner bases, whether it's because you added water to it or it's a thinner borax solution, whatever it may be. If it's just a regular slime, especially like if it's not Korean glue or purposefully coated with something, it's going to be tacky because there's less glue, so more sticky for your hands basically. So that's the only thing that I would say about this one, but everything else was absolutely perfect, and even though it's more tacky, this one was definitely my favorite out of all the slimes. It is so fun to play with. This one gets 4.8 out of 5 pajamas. And last for this review is Blue Raspberry Snow Cone. It is a clear glue based icy slime scented blue raspberry, and it comes with 2 blue raspberry charms. So of course I'm going to say what everybody's thinking as soon as they see this one. That blue color is so gorgeous. It is so deep in color and it looks so good. Like, that looks exactly like a blue raspberry snow cone. You can't tell me it doesn't. Like, that is a perfect deep blue color. This is just another one that I was mesmerized by. Just like the first one with the red one, I don't know how you get such deep colors, but it looks so good. What's also really, really cool about deep colored slimes like this, after they start to inflate, they have a completely different color to them. And if they're deep enough, which you'll see with this one, this is like the perfect example for it. It becomes such a vibrant light color as well. It is so cool to see the difference. This scent reminds me a lot of the first one, where it's like kind of a toss-up whether it's going to be like a candy smell or a berry smell or whatever, like it just always varies. And this one, like the first one, smells like freshly made candy. It smells like a bunch of berries were turned into candy, but not like the sickening sweet type of candy smell, but more like, I don't want to say real candy, but like homemade candy. It smells really good, like blue raspberry, but candy version. I don't know. It smells good. I can even smell a hint of sour, which is really cool. I would definitely say this is more of a jelly and icy hybrid. It's not exactly icy and it has some jelly properties to it. And like, it's kind of hard to make icy slimes anyways. They can be so particular, so I like this texture anyways. I like the hybrids. They feel really nice. Now I will say, because of that deep color, it could also be because of the instant snow, because the first one had a really deep color and it didn't have discoloration, but this one I have slight discoloration on my hands afterwards. They started to just slightly turn blue, but that's okay because it washes like right off. You may have noticed I had to slightly activate the other ones. It happens in transit. It's fine, but I did have to activate this one, and it absolutely chewed through at my activator. Like, I had to use so much, but that's okay. Once I got it to what I think was the perfect texture, it was incredible. This is another one that inflated over double its size, and of course the color is still gorgeous like I mentioned earlier, and it only leaves a slight amount of residue on my hands, just a little bit under my fingernails, and that's about it, which is really typical of snow-based slimes, so I was really impressed by this one as well. This slime does get 5 out of 5 pajamas. And with that, that is the end of this review, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. As a final note to the shop, I would recommend finding different containers. Again, that's another thing that can be expensive. Everything's so expensive, but I would definitely recommend trying to find something else. As you could probably see, I kind of struggled getting them out of the container. But if you made it this far, comment down below something that you did over Christmas/winter break. Now I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.